Hello, everyone. Welcome to the CanadianGameDevs.com podcast, episode number 160, 9 away from a big one. This is a weekly show covering all the games made in Canada and the people who create them. My name is Stephen. It's spelled with a PH and an A, so you'd think it's Stephan, but it's actually Stephen. Joining me, of course, the other partner behind CanadianGameDevs.com, Stephen, with a PH and E, but we call him Steve, and no one's ever confused, ever.
No, never.
Never.
It's good. It's a good system.
It does work. For the most part,
we should start hiring people whose name is Steven but with a V, and then we got all the bases.
But then you have to change. Like, we only have Stephen and Steve right now, and that works. If you had another Steve, it wouldn't work. These are the things we think about, and you can help us think about these things with your support over at patreon.com/CanadianGameDevs. You can back us there for special 2-day early access to the podcast, a Patreon exclusive channel on our Discord, game key giveaways, discount codes for Canadian gaming events, and new tiers as of last week. We now have 2 extra tiers on the site. One of them gets you a sticker, all the previous benefits, your name in the credits at podcast videos, and any old Canadian Game Devs merch Steve has in his living room. And for $30 a month, we will plug any game site project you're working on all month long on the podcast and website and Discord and social media. We'll also throw in a Canadian Game Devs t-shirt, new t-shirt from Patreon, some old merch, and the sticker. You get everything. It's the big one. I only found 2 spelling errors this week on the page, and I corrected them immediately. So yeah, check that out, patreon.com/CanadianGameDevs. That's it, Steve. That's the spiel. Now this is uncharted territory past the beginning here. It's all fresh, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
Let's start with events. Everything pretty much happened this week. There was the Canada Game Connect and Game Devs of Color Expo and Atlantic Game Dev, which I went to, and it was good. So everything else is happening in October and September, starting with the September Game Writers Circle and Social by DMG Toronto. That's happening Thursday, September 24th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Of course, it's online. You don't have to leave your house. Don't even have to put pants on. You can just hang out with other writers and narrative designers for a cozy digital get-together. They'll chat about their work and the fact that we're not writing right now and the challenges the current time poses for being creative. That's from their website. That's dmgto.events. Next event, the monthly Breakfast Game Audio Club is happening on their Discord server. That's Wednesday, October 7th, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Hang out with some other game audio aficionados, enthusiasts, professionals. Talk about your craft and enjoy your coffee together. It's community, Steve.
It's good times. It's good Discord too.
We're all about building community. I am not. I should join. I'm very audio illiterate.
Oh, people. Same. I one of the guys who really runs that Discord is Jake Budno, friend of the site, and he
made the jingle.
I forget if it was the intro or the outro. Jake made the intro or outro, and then
I have this information because I got you to check when I started putting the credits on our YouTube videos.
Oh right, and then Dan Rodriguez made the other one. I want to make sure to give him a shout out.
Also, how nice was that thumbnail I did for this week's show?
Oh, I didn't actually see it.
So funny. Yeah, so the intro was by Jake, and the outro was by Dan Rodriguez. Is what I have.
Jake and Dan.
Classic. Next event. Oh, I should have put this before the other one, because Thursday, October 1st is the Game Writing Workshop, a low-key online social specifically geared toward writers who want to work together in a virtual space, bounce ideas off each other, look for collaborators or advice. 6:30 to 8 Eastern PM. Again, that's free as well. dmg.to/events. Check that out. Last event I want to plug is... Oh, no. Wait, no. That's it. We're good. Yeah, so check out all those events happening in the next 2 weeks. Lots for writers and audio designers. But as Steve mentioned, even if you're not versed in either of those, go hang out for the good time. Learn. You know?
Yeah, exactly. While we're kind of promoting DMG too, like they did reach out to us. I think we mentioned it.
Damage Labs.
The Damage Labs thing. So applications for that. Okay, so anyways, let me just kind of GMG's nonprofit organization recently announced our new accelerated program called Damage Labs Studios Startup Program, and we would love your help in promoting. We're doing that. This is a free program open to marginalized creators interested in starting their own game/media studios. Participants will explore ethical labor frameworks, alternative financing, and structures that center cooperation. We also have a wonderful team of mentors and coaches who will be supporting our participants through 24 weeks of programs. So applications are open until September 30th, which is my birthday. And then the program will run October 26th to April 20th of next year. So you can go to damagelabs.ca. I posted a bunch in the Discord and on Twitter and stuff like that. You can also follow them on DMG Toronto or Damage Labs. And they're good people over there at DMG. So
they want to help.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want some assistance in starting up your studio and you're a POC, then I would
or just a marginalized creator, different gender identities or
true. Yes, my bad. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Right.
Then you should definitely check out Damage Labs at Damage Labs on Twitter. I wonder what do you have their website handy?
Is it in it's just damagelabs.ca.
Oh, that's so easy. They got it. They got a good one.
Oh yeah, they did get that domain. That's nice. This is a good website actually. Hey man. Ooh.
Oh, I haven't checked it actually. Are we gonna do a live impression like the Steam page?
I'm just looking at the Mentor Studios. So they have Cappy, and then a few and Co-op.
Shout out the
Sego
Co-op
Mini. But a few I haven't seen before. Beans Team, Clever Endeavor.
Dude, the Glory Societies, Beans Team's that Devolver Digital partnership we talked about on the news recently.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Yeah.
They're very new. And the Glory Society is former Night in the Woods developers. They're in Philadelphia, I think.
Oh, interesting. Oh, yeah. Two
I'm not sure these other ones
are the critically acclaimed multi-award winning game Night in the Woods.
Yeah. Shout out to Scott Benson and Bethany. I don't know her last name. I don't know these other ones though. So if you want support from some amazing indie studios, Canadian Women's Foundation Investment Program, the Government of Canada, holy moly.
Trudeau.
Justin Trudeau himself will play test your game. That's a guarantee. Let's move on to some jobs, Steve. I got several to plug. Lots of Ontario jobs at the moment, so apologies if you're outside, but a few of these may be open to remote work. First up, Alpha Channel is looking for a game designer, level artist, gameplay programmer, as well as a technical artist and an AI programmer. Lots of openings at Alpha Channel. You can check those out on our site, canadiangamedev.com/jobs. Once again, designer, level artist, level designer, technical artist, gameplay programmer, AI programmer. They're a new developer in Toronto. I should have checked whether these are open to remote initially. I imagine they are. I'm not 100% sure though.
Yeah, they joined our Discord as well because people had some questions.
Yeah, they're in the Ontario channel and they were helping answer questions. Yeah. I'd think they were, because being a new studio, you wouldn't have a space yet, would you?
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, well, Steve digs into that. Another Toronto studio. Nope, not Toronto. Where was Sleeping Giant Interactive located? It is Toronto, isn't it?
It is Toronto, yeah.
Okay. A collaboration studio of Snowman and Oddbird Studios. Critically acclaimed developers behind Alto's Odyssey and the upcoming Alto Collection, so check that out. Sleeping Giant is focused on creating fun, stylish, and satisfying experiences suitable for the entire family. They are looking for a character animator, rigger. So if you have experience with character animation in Maya, as well as experience in Python or Mel, big plus. An incredible understanding of human anatomy, clothing, weight, silhouette, all these art terms I don't know. You probably do listening to this. So you should apply to be a character animator at Sleeping Giant Interactive, an award-winning studio, Steve. And they advertise their in-studio snacks, which I always appreciate someone who likes to snack. Check that out.
You gotta get the snacks.
You gotta get the snacks. You get the snacks, you get the... What's that meme? Where it's like you get the... I'm gonna mess it up. You get the snacks, you get the devs. That's what it is.
Oh, really?
No, it's not. Something like you get the... Nope, it's not worth diving into.
I mean, I've worked for quite a few tech startups, and like there's always snacks. And it's always just like funny the difference between the one. I remember the first one I joined, they would only like put snacks out on like Tuesdays and Thursdays, and people would just like bolt it. They would just bolt it to the kitchen.
That's what do you call it? Contrived scarcity.
Yeah.
They could give you snacks every day.
I know they had a locker full of. I saw it.
At
other places had more. So
at Remy Games, our boss started getting us the like Tokyo candy crate, like monthly crate, and she started that in January, and we got 2 or 3, and then everything shut down. So I went back to the office last week, and there was like 8 unopened candy crates. I started going through them looking. I like the flavored Cokes from Japan. They have fun flavors like mandarin or green tea or stuff, and so I always look for those and then drink them while no one else is there.
Is it this Japan crate?
Yeah, Japan crate. That's it. They're also very fun on social media. I sent a pic out and they liked it and replied to us.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I might.
You gonna get some Japan candy, Steve? They have
maybe the snacks in Japan are like dope. Like when we
they're next level. They're living in the future. We're living in the past.
I know. If I didn't have a family here that I loved, I would just go straight to Japan and just not move.
I mean, so in the ideal situation, you would take your family with you, right?
Well, I meant like family who wouldn't move, like my mom and stuff.
Oh, I see. I see. One more job to plug. Of course, big friend of the show and now patron. So full disclosure, Canuck Play, looking for several roles at their Peterborough studio. They're looking for a full-time senior Unity game developer, a full-time Unity game developer, a full-time character animator, and full-time 3D modeler of static objects. If any of these sound like good fits for you and you're familiar with Unity, C#, some experience shipping console games, as Doug Flea's Maximum Football is a PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series SX title, very exciting, you should apply. Again, check out all those jobs at CanadianGameDevs.com/jobs. And if you want to advertise your job on the site, contact at CanadianGameDevs.com. That's it, Steve. Those are all the jobs. Helping people get money, helping people get experience. That's what we're all about. Do you like? I changed this document we use to keep all our stuff on track. It's got headers now. There's a nice like table of contents on the left. It's clean. I hope you appreciated it.
Wasn't that always there?
No, I made it better.
Oh, right. Oh. Well, I appreciate it.
Okay, that's good. All right, now we're going to move on to the cut of the show we call the news. If this were a cow, this podcast you're listening to, this is the prime rib, right?
The best part.
Best of the best. First up, Bandai Namco, Steve, has purchased the Montreal-based developer behind Unknown 9 Awakening, that game shown in the second PS5 game showcase. Reflector Entertainment, the developer behind that transmedia experience Unknown 9, which is like a podcast, book, and now an upcoming game for the PlayStation 5. It's been acquired by Japanese development powerhouse Bandai Namco. Oh no, sorry, the teaser first aired during the Gamescom opening night live, not the PlayStation 5 event. My bad. The studio is co-founded by the former Assassin's Creed creative director and has grown to a staff of over 120 people.
Oh, geez.
Big studio. Unknown 9 is a franchise with a book trilogy, podcast, and comic book. The game is part of this upcoming slew of transmedia content. I've heard it also described as transmedia and cross-media. I think cross-media might be the more common term for this kind of like story told across multiple media.
Mm-hmm.
Transmedia was what was used in like I took a class on cross-media storytelling where we did like a comic game and then like an ad. So yeah, that's what I'm familiar with. Unknown 9 is currently due to launch in 2021 for the PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X. That trailer, I remember we watched together and commented on. Again, it's a CGI trailer, so it's hard to get a feel for anything other than maybe the game's tone. But I was interested in what's going on in that trailer, and I think you were as well.
Yeah, like it has a cool aesthetic, and I'm excited for it. Get that money, Bandai Namco. Mm-hmm. Like if they offered to buy us, I'd cop it. So.
Oh man, I'd like to be owned by Bandai Namco. Like if they were trying to get a foothold in the Canadian scene and wanted that on the ground talent.
Maybe Unknown 9 is listening to this, and then they can just like put us in contact with their people. But yeah, good for them. Always good to get that security and get that bill. 2021, it's not too far off. So we'll see where this how this like evolves and stuff. But cool.
I would rather be purchased by Microsoft personally. So if you're listening, Microsoft, hook us up.
I mean, just as a fanboy, I would want to get purchased by PlayStation so I can
there's no Canadian angle there, though.
Well,
Steve.
But then I can actually get a PS5, though.
Oh, true. Save it for the topic of the show.
All right.
I want to highlight this little bit of messiness this week around the Canadian Game Awards. They had a tough week, Steve. Shout out to Carl over at the Canadian Game Awards for dealing with a lot of stuff. First, they were impersonated. They're at C Game Awards on Twitter, but another account, C Game Awards 1, they always had a 1, Steve, sprouted up and started just posting a whole bunch of nonsense, following people, and so Carl had to go DM everyone like, this is fake, can you please report them, I'm trying to get them off and trying to get this one verified. So first there was that, then they announced all of their nominees and decided to nominate Montreal's Ubisoft office for Studio of the Year, at which point collectively everyone following them was like, what about all of the sexual assault allegations and messiness and just general bad PR happening for them this year? And then Ubisoft Montreal said in a statement, quote, "We learned yesterday, September 17th, that Ubisoft Montreal was nominated as Studio of the Year at the Canadian Game Awards. We are grateful that the incredible talent of our teams is recognized and celebrated, but in actual circumstances, we cannot accept this nomination. Thank you for understanding." So, good call on their part. They didn't need this, and I would argue don't deserve this in lieu of all the mismanagement and alleged abuse that happened on their watch. Mm-hmm. So they had the PR fallout of that. And then the actual awards were held on Thursday of last week on September 18th on Twitch. And once again, Steve, I think the biggest crime of the year, Grindstone snubbed at another award show. 3 strikes, you're out. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, do you want me to go through the winners here?
Yeah, you could go through them quick. And I would also point out some of these talent winning aren't Canadian. So I want to see the criteria for these categories because I contend them. Canadian Game Awards. I contend you.
By the way, I should mention one of the hosts that did the awards is Steve, who's a friend of mine and friend of the site, and so I'm just putting that out there. Best art direction is Dauntless, which I agree with. Dauntless has a great art style. Best game design, Canes of Hyrule. I know people really like that. Best soundtrack is Outward. Best performance is Leslie L. Miller for Lou in Far Cry New Dawn. Mm-hmm. Best narrative is Mech Warrior 5. I have no idea what the story of Mech Warrior 5 is. I also didn't know
there was a story in Mech Warriors, so now I'm intrigued.
Best audio design for Far Cry New Dawn. Esports player, it's Twits. Esports
host, I don't think they're Canadian. How do you spell Twits?
It's Twits, Twist, and then ZZ.
Okay, I found them.
Esports host is Marissa Roberto. Esports org Toronto Defiant. That's the Overwatch people, aren't they? Or,
yeah, that's their Overwatch League team.
Esports event, Get On My Level, which I don't even know.
Content creator reported on that, Steve.
Content creator of the show is us. No, it's not. It's Dangerously Funny. Should have been us. Streamer is 8-Bit Blonde. Personality is Cherry Thompson. I don't know who any of these people are. PC game is Far Cry New Dawn. Console game is Canes of Hyrule. Mobile handheld game is Pixelings. Mm-hmm. Indie game of the year is indie game and game of the year is Canes of Hyrule, and studio of the year is Clay Entertainment.
Okay, so aside from Grindstone being snubbed, and I think a couple of those nominated aren't Canadian, but maybe they're just making content about Canadian games. Overall, I kind of agree with the winners. How about you?
I mean, I haven't Cadence Hyrule kind of cleaned up, and I haven't played Cadence Hyrule or the one it's based off of or whatever. Mm-hmm. I think it's on my wish. Like, I think I have it on my wish list or whatever, but I just never copped it. Mm-hmm. It has a demo actually. I'll download the demo and give it a shot.
Always demos. Bring back demos. I love demos.
Hashtag bring back demos. So yeah, I mean it's fine. I haven't played It's funny, I haven't played some of these, like even like Pixelins. I wasn't crazy on Far Cry New Dawn. Like, I don't know. I was kind of, I don't know. It was meh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Pixelins is called PewDiePie's Pixelins.
Yeah, that was developed in Quebec.
Oh, it's based off of PewDiePie?
Yeah, he has a couple branded games right now.
Oh, I don't even know that. In Outward, best score soundtrack, and MechWarrior with the best narrative. I kind of just want to play these because I don't think I've played it other than Far Cry, New Dawn, and Dauntless. I haven't played a single game on this list. So, and a lot of the esports people I don't know. So
yeah, me neither.
But Dauntless does have a good art direction. So shout out. I think they. Who are they?
I think they do. It's pretty. It's got that almost Fortnite simple-ish style, but it sets itself apart enough. And the monsters are freaking great.
Oh wait, did I say best game design? Because that had a nomination, but
Cadence of Hyrule, didn't that win?
Oh, okay, maybe.
Yeah, you said that. So anyway, that all happened this week. In case you missed it, if you want to follow them, the official account you should know is @CGameAwards. @CGameAwards. Don't follow any other account because apparently people are trying to mess with them. Not sure why. Next bit of news this week, Steve. Patron and a friend of the show, Benjamin Rivers, has announced that Home Post-Mortem Edition will drop on Nintendo Switch October 8th.
Nice.
Perfect release for this because, of course, Halloween at the end of October. People need that spookiness. People need to not go outside, too. You need to stay home, and you need to play home on your Nintendo Switch. The new post-mortem mode is an interactive developer diary that you can access while you play. I love when games do this. Gone Home did this, and you could actually like queue up specific like director's commentary of certain areas you're playing as you walk through them, and this seems to be similar to that. Amazing. Good work, Ben. And we are excited to check out Home Post-Mortem Edition. Nintendo Switch, October 8th. What do you think, Steve?
That's awesome. That wasn't the only one though, because he's also bringing.
He said the tweet starts with announcement 2 of 3. So
yeah, alone with you, Deep Space Edition blasts off on
double
Nintendo
scoop,
Switch.
double news.
Yeah, so he's bringing both his earlier games to Nintendo Switch.
Makes sense.
I mean, they're both great games. If I had to pick one, I would pick Home.
Mm-hmm.
I think Home's actually one of my favorite ones. He actually has a tweet too where it's like 2020 surprises, and he has 4 little boxes and worse than death and worse than death. Actually, this might just be okay. Never mind. Ignore. But Home is awesome. I would highly recommend playing Home. I'm actually going to cop this again on Switch for sure because it's also like at least on phones and on Vita and stuff. It was only like $5. So
that's nice. Very cheap. That's criminal. I want AAAs to come down, and I want indies to go up. Just make every game 60 flat. I don't care. But that's an unpopular opinion.
I mean, I think I'm fine with like different prices, depending on what you're getting. But sometimes it is just like sometimes I feel like games just go more expensive so that then they can they have more room for sales.
Yeah, and the launch discounts a big thing now too, and pre-order discounts are a big thing on like Steam and Switch and even PS4. Man, I miss the summer of play that PlayStation did. It was like 5 or 6 indies, and you got like a 25% pre-order bonus for each one. Because that was great. That was like Guacamelee 2, Swapper. Trying to think of there's some other really good gems that were included in that.
And it wasn't like if you did like 4 or 5, you also got like a credit or something like that.
Yeah, if you did 4 back, they gave you $10 code or something. I remember getting that because I was like, well, I wasn't going to get this 4th one, but I might as well now.
Well, now Sony doesn't give a shit because they're going to charge us more money. So
$90 Canadian for Demon's Souls Remastered. Are you kidding me? Oh. I mean, I'll get it, but are you kidding me?
It's rough.
Are you kidding me with this shit? Anyway, enough of that. Speaking of free updates to games, Steve, Clay, it's pronounced like play, Vancouver-based indie developer, has released a new update for Don't Starve Together for PC, PS4, and Xbox One, including a new character, Wigfrid, kind of giving me Brave vibes, the poofy orange hair fighter of the Disney Pixar animated universe. No, it's not Pixar, it's just Disney. Wigfrid coming to Don't Starve Together, September 24th, along with loads of other tweaks, balances, updates. I love studios that support their games long term with free updates. If you get a hit, why not? You know, you got the fans, you retain them, you build up that goodwill. I'm a big fan of building up goodwill, and Clay has a lot of goodwill built up with me. Did you play Don't Starve together? It's what it is. It's like the Don't Starve, but with friends.
Yeah, I didn't. Don't Starve it falls into the roguelike of you don't
keep
like
anything except for characters. You unlock
exactly.
characters.
So I played it because I think it was like a PlayStation Plus game back in the day.
That's where I played it too.
Yeah. So I played it back in the day, and I didn't jive with it. I really like for these roguelike games. I really need some sort of like
the roguelite
RPG progression thing. Like I had a friend who was begging me to pick up Splunky 2.
Oh man, I want to play Slunky 2 as people as well. Hook me up with your friend. I'll play with him.
It was Chris, the guy we played Fall Guys with.
Oh shit!
It was my Chris.
I'll play Slunky 2 with you. We'll make this happen.
Yeah. So
apparently it's busted though. Like the online on PlayStation 4 is broken.
Oh really?
Yeah. So I don't know. Multiplayer is hard. I'll just maybe give it a couple weeks.
Video games are hard in general.
No Canadian involvement there, I don't think.
Yeah, so actually, fuck that game. But Don't Starve, yeah, good for people who are fans of the game. Not really my type of thing. Although I will say, you mentioned Home, how it had the diary dev thing. That's what Clay did with Mark of the Ninja on PS4. So.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I should check that out. I only played it on 360. You do, it's good, and the ending's great, and it's so tight. It's just. Mwah.
Yeah, it was good. I don't, it's one of those things where I was playing it and then I loved it and then, I put it down and then I got into something else and then I just forgot about it. So
Canadian it's on my PS4 though. You know how Nintendo does like the red boxes and it's like Nintendo Selects?
Yeah.
I'm doing CanadianGameDev.com Selects.
Ooh.
Mark of the Ninja. First entry. Amazing game.
I like that. We should do that. You should Photoshop some sort of box art.
Oh, I'll whip something up. I'm thinking. I'm already starting Photoshop files for Game of the Year this year, and we gotta start putting our list together. But yeah, we could whip something up. I want to get a better like award like tiny box that people could throw on their Steam page because Groove Gunner, winner of most anticipated game of 2019 last year, threw theirs up on the Steam page, and it's a little too big. If I could do it again, I would make it like a smaller laurel, instead of a big banner. So yeah, I'm thinking about these things right now. Last bit of news today. I'm unsure of the Don't Nod Quebec Studios' involvement. So there's a slight asterisk on this news bullet this week. But Twin Mirror, the next Don't Nod game, is coming December 1st to PS4 and Xbox One and PC. Of course, earlier this year, Don't Nod announced they were opening a new studio in Canada, in Montreal, with over 250 devs at their Paris studio. The company plans to hire, quote, a diverse staff to create new games that reflect that diverse team. This was reported in May, so I doubt it's open and off the ground, but there may be some Canadian talent working on this. And moving forward, Don't Nod games will fall under our purview, Steve, of Canadian developed.
Cool.
All right, that's it for the news. Let's move on to Wishlist This, Steve. I found out this week that Brett's not dead. Happy 41st birthday, Brett.
41st, yeah.
But he was an inspiration for this segment where, while you two were talking about games, you would wishlist them, like as you were talking about them. So I'm like, why not make this a whole segment? I highlight 3 upcoming Canadian-made games, add your wishlist right now. We play a cool sound effect Sebastian gave us. First up this week, Smash Ball. At Smash Ball game by GamePill Inc. in Toronto. It's coming to Steam, PC, Switch, and PS4, PS5, Steve, according to their website, as well as mobile. You can wishlist it on Steam. You can't on PlayStation because they suck. Smash Ball is a fast-paced, hard-hitting competitive sport where you claim victory by any means necessary. In 1v1 or 2v2 matches, attempt to outscore your opponent or utilize a weaponized ball to take them out. Grow your fan base, manage your team, and enter online tournaments to claim glory. Coming soon, very, very good Steam page, I will say. Lots of GIFs telling me what to do. Like it's Windjammers, you know that disc frisbee game?
Yeah.
It's that, but like offset and like 3D, and a 1v1 and 2v2, and online play. So big, ambitious indie title here. It'll support shared split screen PvP as well. So hook up 2 controllers to 1 computer, 1v1 your friends. I'm sure it does split screen because it shows the field from like behind your net, so it'd have to do each side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or else it's like that NHL game thing where the person coming toward like down the screen has like kind of flipped controls, which always feels weird.
Yeah. This looks awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right? Like it looks really cool. You're like basically playing mech windjammers. And you can like build up momentum on this like ball thing, and if it hits the player, it like just sort of destroys them. Like it's like those anime volleyball things where like you hit the volleyball so hard it like goes through them.
Yeah, exactly. This looks really dope. This would be, a great game to launch, like on PlayStation Plus and stuff like that. There is a demo too, actually, which I think I'll.
Oh yeah, free demo on Steam.
Yeah, we have a download button, don't we? Or sound. I'll do that.
Yeah, I have a demo sound.
Right,
Pop that in. What do you think of this Steam page, Steve? Is it speaking to you?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it's got gifts. It looks like they're signing up for some sort of like I guess alpha, but it's like set up as like a tournament. It's got the link.
The
to
Smash and
Discord.
Clash Invitational. Check out their Discord for that.
The bottom part too's got me interested too. It says winners aren't made in Smash Ball; they are built. So I'm wondering, and it looks like there's sort of a speed, energy, shield kind of thing. So I'm wondering if there's like stats that you can kind of like adjust and whatnot. So
I'm getting that vibe.
This is awesome. This looks dope.
I have to ask Steve, is Smash Ball on your Steam wishlist?
Yes, it is. I wouldn't play this on Steam though. You know me, but I'll.
We can play it on PS5 together.
Yeah, exactly. So, funny enough, it says, "Is this game relevant to you? Similar to games you've played, Dota 2."
No, I can tell you 100% this is not similar to Dota 2 in any way. This looks fun. This looks entertaining. This looks like short and sweet, quick matches.
I played 0.8 hours of Dota 2, and I'm pretty sure it was one match that I played in like 2012.
My friend on my laptop in like high school rounded up like 130 hours in Dota 2. So now that's just on my Steam account forever.
Oh, that's brutal.
It's pretty bad. You know, it's
Smash
not
Ball
bad,
looks great
Steve.
though.
Next game on Wishlist This, Hellbound, The Awakening by North Wolf in Hamilton, Ontario. It's a very Ontario-focused trio of Wishlist This games this week, but that's okay. I did a Quebec one a couple weeks ago. You can wishlist on Steam. They say it's releasing November 2021, but again, in these tumultuous times, take release dates with some wiggle room. Hellbound, The Awakening is a dark, fantasy, Souls-like 2D game that will take you on a challenging journey from a small, mysterious village to the depths of hell itself. Wow, with a pitch like that. No gifts in the Steam description. That's okay. Trailer looks good, though. I'm getting lots of Adobe Effect like title cards here. It looks like it's pitching itself as a 2D Souls-like. Lots of rolling, parrying, attacking. You got abilities. You got HP, like a mana, I think. And I think, it's got like the Zelda sword thing where like if you're at full health and you do the sword, like a sword spirit like goes out and does damage ahead of you.
Oh, is that why? I saw that. I was like, that looks really cool. Is that why? It's because he's full health?
I'm not sure if that's why it is, but that's what it looks like. These monsters are scary. This witch queen early on, like crawling towards you, like it looks like her head's down with the black hair coming out like the Ring Girl, but there's a big mouth on the back of her head. Don't like that. What do you think, Steve?
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, you're not fans of the Souls game, are you?
I'm not like huge fan. Like I haven't really played a 2D like Souls game. I played Bloodborne and Dark Souls, and that's pretty much like the
Bloodborne's the best one.
Bloodborne is really great, and I'm excited to play Demon Souls on PS4 or PS5. So this intrigues me. I think the art can use a little bit more oomph, But I mean, it's still a ways away. Like we're over a year from the planned release. So I think
maybe it'll come to PS5.
Ooh, that'd be sick, actually. But it looks cool.
16 plus levels across 4 unique worlds, 8 horrifying bosses, a large number of unique enemies, upgradable tarot cards. I think those are your like abilities.
Yeah.
A mesmerizing and emotional soundtrack. At the start of each game, you will receive a tarot card reading that will alter a specific game run and your abilities. Oh, so is this a roguelike? I think this might have, at the start of each new game, oh, maybe it's like a really short Souls-like, and so each game you get a new combo of abilities. Yeah, so at the beginning of the game you get a tarot card reading, and that dictates your abilities for that run. That's an interesting premise, too.
Ooh, a popular user-defined tag is nudity, so hook it up.
Well, I mean, from this trailer, there's that witch queen not wearing any clothes.
There you go.
I have to ask Steve, is Hellbound, The Awakening on your Steam wish list?
Yes, it is.
Excellent. Last game today on Wishlist This. From London, Ontario-based Tactic Studios, Claire de Lune, releasing spring 2021. Quote, Claire de Lune is a story-driven puzzle-adventure game set in a grounded science fiction universe. Oh, I didn't include the Steam link. I'm sorry, Steve. I betrayed you.
No, it's okay. I found it. Because I always like to do this as the listener, so I want to find it. So Claire de Lune.
Search it.
Yeah.
Claire de Lune, no gifts on the Steam page. It's fine. You got time. It looks like kind of like a first-person 3D platformer. The trailer starts with you're on the space station sitting on this sort of table from like the Millennium Falcon, almost like across from someone else. But apologies for my cat. He's very excited.
Your cat's going nuts.
That breakfast has just arrived, and he is very excited because he thinks it's for him, but it never is, and he's always let down. But Claire de Lune looks like very pretty. I'm guessing Unreal Engine. You know when you see a game and you get that vibe, I'm guessing Unreal Engine. I like
it looks like you get a gun that makes like platforms and stuff.
Ooh, that's oh shit. I'm seeing that right now, looking at it.
Oh.
Very nice. Very nice.
That's
you make bridges and platforms. That's really cool.
That is neat.
Oh no, the spider got you.
I know.
Well, yeah, this spaceship.
I like how we're at the very exact same spot.
Like somehow we ended up the exact same point in this video.
I like it. I'm actually a little. I think like the animation and the graphics like look really really good.
This is astounding especially for an indie game like this. This is very impressive.
Exactly, Tactic Studio. What else have they done? I feel like.
Well, on Steam, you can just click their thing, and it looks like they did Immortal Empire in 2016. 2015, and then a whole bunch of DLC packs, so it must have done well. It's a free-to-play strategy RPG. And other than that, I think those are their only games. Immortal Empire 2015, which must have bankrolled them, to Claire de Lune, coming up spring 2021. That's soon. That's months away, Steve. Where did the year go? Oh my god,
that's crazy.
I have to ask Steve, is Claire de Lune by Tactic Studios on your Steam wish list?
Yes, it is.
Excellent. And any other last minute thoughts about the Steam page?
No, I'm sorry. I went off it to go to Immortal Empire to just take a look, but does it have gifts? Do we?
In Claire de Lune? No, unfortunately not.
I think you need to get some gifts in there to show some of the cool puzzling things you're going to do, like building bridges and stuff. Because when I saw that, I was like, "Ooh, that looks neat." Like, I'm getting like the Portal vibes from it.
I was literally just gonna say, it felt like Portal platforming puzzling to me, but not in a lab setting, more like in an alien hostile planet setting. You know,
like there's this really cool one where he makes a bridge, and then the thing to push this like block that's hanging to smash a window to get in, and I'm like, that's some good shit. So
it's some good shit. That's like I'm also with you on the Portal vibes.
Yeah, so cool. Claire de Lune.
Check
it out. On my wish list.
It's on Steam. That's it for Wishlist This. Now, Steve, let's move on to Discord discussion. I have two things that got a lot of traction this week in the Discord. First up, I think kind of leads into the second one, so we'll start with, of course, the PS5 stuff. This week, this Thursday. Was that this? Oh my god.
It's like Wednesday or Thursday?
Yeah, I think it was Wednesday. The PlayStation 5 big final, tell us what it is and when we can buy it, stream happened. It was about a little under an hour. A couple new games announced, as well as the price, Steve. And Xbox coming in $100 under this time around, opposed to last time.
Well,
pull up,
the most expensive part is the same price, isn't it? Like the Xbox Series X and the disc version of PS5 is the same price.
Okay, I'm still not so in US dollars, the discless Series X or Series S is $279.99 and the Series X is $399.99, correct?
I don't know, actually. Let's just
Someone needs to put a chart with all this together.
Why don't you do it? You were making the charts for the launch games.
It's true. I was making charts yesterday. Oh yeah, so I think they're both 500 USD for the better ones. I'm also not sure how I feel about making the disc ones so cheap because obviously if you're in a tough financial situation and you want to play some games, you'll go for the discless version, but then you don't have any ownership over your games. And for a lot of, I would say poorer or not as, well off families, being able to trade in for the next game is a sustainable way to play new games. And this is setting up for a new generation of players to not have that option, which will push them to buy, I hope, smaller, cheaper games digitally. But what I think will happen is they'll just be able to play less games without that option to trade in. Then your EV Games stock will crash. Then Sophia won't get to go to school. There's a ripple effect here I'm foreseeing I don't like. I don't know how you feel.
I appreciate that you're so concerned about Sophia's school.
I am.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just... I feel like this is all just due to the fact that EB Games were such dicks when it came to, like, used game sales and just, like, thrived on that shit in the PS3, Xbox 360 era. Mm-hmm. And then it just became, like, their Sony's and Microsoft's and everyone's goal to just basically cut that shit out as quickly as possible so that they... if someone buys a game digitally for $10, like that's on sale, that used to be $70, like they still see that money, whereas if you bought like a used game, they saw 0% of it. Mm-hmm. So I think it's just like all coming from that. Like there's no real benefit to consumers for this stuff because, like you said, you don't really typically own like digital games. Like they can just shut that shit off.
And they do. They have, Steve. You have
look at
no
PT,
ownership over your game.
Like look at PT, although you didn't pay that, and
PT,
stuff like that.
The all the sound bundles for different Guitar Hero Rock Band games, and most famously, I think is probably the Scott Pilgrim game.
Marvel Alliance 1 and 2.
Right, exactly.
They get taken out, and then like, I don't know, because sometimes if you bought it previously, you can still re-download it, but sometimes not. So,
yeah, like with PT, they straight up just took it off.
So it's just, personally, I'm going with like the disc versions. Well, actually, no, sorry. For PS5, I'm getting disc. For Xbox Series, I'll go with the Series S because
that makes sense because of Game Pass, though.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the Xbox is going to be my like secondary system anyways. So like, I don't even own any Xbox games anyways. Like, everything I have is digital. Like the only games I've ever bought technically is like Titanfall and Cuphead and stuff online, but. Mm-hmm. I was always just like, it was always meant to be a Game Pass thing, but like Game Pass is pretty clear, like you don't own these games, like we can remove this shit, like that's fine. Mm-hmm. They
also do steep discounts for games on Game Pass, so they're like, hey, this is leaving this week, do you want like 35% off? And you keep your save, everything, like you don't even notice, you just buy it and you keep it.
Yeah, so I don't think it's controversial to say that Game Pass is like the better service of like basically anything really. Mm-hmm. Like PS Now, PS Plus, etc., etc., etc.
PS Now is a joke, Steve. Like looking at this,
PS Now is a joke. I turned off my like auto renew, and the thing is that PlayStation Plus collection that was announced, some of those games are already on PS Now, so it's just like,
and some of them were already PS Plus games.
Yeah, a lot of them were.
So, like, this is useless for most of the hardcore PlayStation fans who are buying a PS5 on day one.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also for the people who buy to bring them over, right? So if you're an Xbox guy or PC guy, then you can just get a PS5. You get the PlayStation Plus collection. The Plus collection is basically every single good like Sony first party game except for Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us 2. Like, it basically get the whole like all the good games that came out of it. No knack.
No Knack.
Wait
But
for Knack 2. Like, just fucking give it to me. Like, how many people are buying Knack 2? Just give it to me.
I bought Knack 2.
Well, I mean, how many people are buying it now, though?
Oh,
Like,
I don't know. You know, honestly, it did well enough to get a sequel, which most launch games don't. Like, we never got another Killzone game. We never got another Rise game. Like, those kind of, like, launch game throwaway, like, first-party games usually don't get sequels, and Knack did, so big ups.
yeah, that's true.
All right, Steve, I'm going to run through some of these quick. So, confirmed day one launch titles from Sony. Astro's Playroom.
By the way, sorry, Final Fantasy
go
16
ahead.
got announced, and it looks wicked. But I'm sure
Coming
that
to
game's,
PC.
like, 3 years off. Yeah, I wouldn't play it on PC anyways, you know that. But
Astro's Playroom, which is kind of similar to Playroom, which was a PS4, built or like pre-installed little tech demo. Demon Souls from Blue Point Japan Studio, $89.99 Canadian new. So that puts it at like 103 after tax, at least out here in 15% tax land for me.
ooh, it's 15% out there.
It is, sir.
Oh my lord, yeah, 13% here. It's 101.68. That is
Yeah, so
rough.
it's just add a couple dollars out here. The games are $100 now.
That's
and I
rough,
think
man.
going forward, adjusted for inflation, that's still cheaper than the early console days. Like, people forget, like, adjusted for inflation, NES games were $120 new.
Yeah, I remember. I have this memory like burned into my thing, I've mentioned a few times where Mighty. I don't know if you know Mighty Max. It was basically like the Polly Pocket, but for boys. Like, it was
Okay.
just it was just like a show about some destined kid or something, and all the toys were like really small or whatever. And there was a Mighty Max video game on Sega Genesis, and I loved it. Or like, I loved Mighty Max. I remember begging my mom for it, and my mom was just like, "Steven, it's $100. I'm not buying you $100 video game." And I remember just coming up with a bullshit reason, being like, "It's $100 because it's a mega game. That means it's the best."
That's the kind of thing I would come up with.
It didn't convince my mom. I'd never played it. I'm sure it's just a shitty platformer. I kind of don't want to play it. Like, I've seen ROMs and stuff for it, and I'm like, I don't want to play it because my memory of it is so pure.
Yeah, it's one of those like demo in Zeller's games you play, and then all of a sudden it's the best game you ever played, and you never get to play it again.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, yeah, games have been more expensive, but like, is Demon Souls going to have DLC, like some sort of season pass? It's like $50 or something.
No, they wouldn't do that.
Dark
Blue Point Japan Studio just make games and release them. They're one of the few
that's
bastions of good games we have left.
I mean, but to play, like, I mean, Bloodborne and Dark Souls had DLC, so it is technically possible.
I'm okay with paid DLC, and I don't think we'll get it for Demon Souls because it's a remake.
Yeah.
Whereas Bloodborne was a new in-process game. But anyway, so day one, you can get Astro's Playroom pre-installed. Demon Souls, which is the only PS5 like exclusive. Like, you can only play Demon Souls on a PS5. Destruction All-Stars coming to PS4. Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales coming to PS4. The Ultimate Edition, which includes the OG Spider-Man, which isn't a free upgrade for people who own Spider-Man on PS4, which is bullshit. And Sackboy: A Big Adventure from Sumo Digital, not Media Molecule, the first Sackboy game, unless Vita was also not Media Molecule, I'm not sure. But that's also coming to PS4. So as far as like the only things you can play on PlayStation 5 at launch, Astro's Playroom, Demon Souls.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of other launch titles announced. Obviously, God's Fall. We got Madden 21, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Dirt 5, Destiny 2, Call of Duty Cold War, Watch Dogs Legion, Devil May Cry 5, and NBA 2K21 fill out the rest of like the launch titles. But I'm mainly interested in what I can only play on this hardware, so I'll be picking up Demon Souls. Oh, and also we should say I got a pre-order and you didn't, which people have been listening to the show. I've been on the fence about it for so long. And then I ended up staying in a pre-order, and Steve unfortunately wasn't able to. But you're still trying to do that trade-in, right?
Yeah, like, Heather's been teasing me all week because she's like, "You should have listened to me," because basically she was.
You should have listened to Heather, Steve.
She was like, she had the cart ready to go, and I was just like, "Oh, I don't want it. Like, I'd rather just because I want to trade. Like, the price of the PS5 never really.
She had it in a cart.
Yeah,
Steve, come on, Steve.
The price of the PS5 never really mattered that much to me because I was always intending to trade my PS4 in and the games like a couple days before and just whatever, because like that's what I did for the Wii U to Switch, and like I traded Wii U and like 10 Switch or Wii U games for like a Switch and like 4 games. Like it's like I'd rather just do that. So I was just like, oh, I don't want to pre-order it because then I don't want to like I don't want to spend $800 on this thing. And then I was just like, I was thinking back to the SNES Classic, because I remember when that was going up for pre-order, online was sold out and people were complaining. And then I just like walked into EB Games. I was like, hey, can I get one? And they're like, yep. And I was like, okay. So I thought it would just be that. And then Heather went in the next day and they're sold out. She called like all the different EB Games, and the whole experience is just kind of like numb to me, where I'm like, whatever. Like, if I get one at launch, cool. If not, I'll get one in the first like couple of weeks or so. Like, I'm not really stressing too hard about it. But my GameStop stock it's more than doubled.
Excellent. There you go. Thank you. Despite announcing they were closing 100 stores in the US.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, they got like 55,000 stores worldwide, so that's fine. But
right, Steve, other announcements from this stream: Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. Everyone, I'm on a Discord for like the game design program I went to at Laurier. Everyone's losing their shit about this one. Apparently, there's exclusive like character or something, and this one is only PS5 as well. This edition.
Well, I mean, the game came out on PS4 and Xbox One like 2 years ago, so.
But this edition with the new content is allegedly PS5 exclusive.
I see. Yeah, I mean, I haven't picked it up yet. I think it was on Game Pass.
It was, I think. Yeah.
And I like Devil May Cry back in the day, but I haven't played it since 3, which was a PS2 game, so maybe it might be one of those games I play like when it goes on sale or something.
Final Fantasy 16 opened the stream. People losing their mind. I don't like Final Fantasy, Steve. You like Final Fantasy, though.
I do. It looked great. The aesthetic looked really good. It's the fantasy kind of style of it, like medieval. I'm down with that. So, I mean, it's probably ways away because it was like running on a PC. I was like, what?
Have you seen that? This one's also coming to PC at the end. They said PS5 exclusive console, and so I assume that'll be like a year, and then it'll come to Series X or whatever.
Probably, yeah.
Have you seen that meme format where it's like this old grandma with a walker and someone's like helping them, and like the text over the grandma is like, there'll be this one day, and then the person's like, okay, grandma, sure it will. My friend shared one of those. It was like, the Final Fantasy game will star a woman again one day. It's like, okay, grandma, let's get you to bed. And she was a little bummed. It's another guy after the last one had 4 guys, and the one before that had a couple guys, and it's just I like that format.
Fantasy 13.
13 had lightning, right?
Yeah, 13 started lightning, but then before that, 12, 10.
Big sausage fest.
8, 7, 6. 6 was kind of like a girl mostly. So it was like 6 and 13. That's about it.
I don't have any real affiliation to Final Fantasy, other than Cloud and Smash Bros. It's probably the most I've played any Final Fantasy character.
That's fair.
Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, Steve. This is really interesting. So the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's, obviously that game blew up, did really well. A modding community started spreading up around the game, and they were making these really great projects that actually had a lot of potential. So the developer and creator of Five Nights at Freddy's started reaching out to them like, hey, this mod looks great, this project looks great, let's like make it official so I don't have to like DMCA take down this project. Let's sign you and make a studio, and we'll actually get this game out as an official Five Nights at Freddy games. And I think this is the first one of those.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And yeah, so there's coming out a bunch of new projects around this, but I think if I remember correctly, this is the first one of that. I also found it really funny. Everyone was thinking this was Silent Hill at the start because of like the tiled hallway, creepy woman's voice over top. And my timeline for like the first 30 seconds of the trailer was like Silent Hill, Silent Hill, Silent Hill, and it was like no. Then you saw like the teddy bear run down. And you're like damn it. Did you ever play any of the original Five Nights at Freddy's games? There's like 5 or 6 now.
Yeah, I played one of them on like some of my friend's phone or whatever, and it's it's fine, but I'm not.
The kids love it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of streams and stuff for it of people like Let's Plays. Cool. I probably would never play this though.
The show closed out with God of War. Just actually they didn't even say a title. We heard Kratos' voice over top of a blowing in snow logo. What is it? The Omega logo.
Yeah.
And then it said "Stop Ragnarok 2021." Or prepare for Ragnarok or something. And spoilers for the end of God of War 1. It was 2 or 3 years ago. At the very end, you get back to the house, and it begins to snow really fast outside, and they sort of step out and push out, and then it sort of pans around to like a glowing Thor's hammer, and then cuts to black. So something's happening.
Yeah, 2021 too. People were kind of shocked at that because it's only been 2 years since the last one, or just over 2 years. But people are also kind of thinking that maybe it's sort of like a Miles Morales or Lost Legacy sort of thing, where it's not like a full blown thing. But I mean, they didn't tell us, so it's all speculation at this point.
That's also that'll be because God of War came out in April of 2018, so that'll be 2, 3, almost 3 or 4 years. Which once the base is set and they developed all new tech for God of War 2018, once that base is established, a sequel is a quicker turnaround. So I could see it being a full blown sequel.
That's true. They also didn't really do any DLC for God of War like they did for Uncharted with all the multiplayer shit and Spider-Man. So there is that. Like, they could have just jumped straight into like the sequel. So I mean, they didn't say anything, so we'll just have to wait and see. They also could just say 2021 to get people hyped up, knowing full well that they'll push it to 2022. So who knows? I'm excited though. God of War was awesome. So,
and the other announcement that kind of leads into our second Discord discussion this week: Hogwarts Legacy from Warner Bros. Games. This is a new kind of like mini open world action RPG. Make a character at Hogwarts, pick a house, and go through the Hogwarts experience. Of course, Steve, releasing any project tied to the Harry Potter license in 2020 raises some questions. Questions about whether famous transphobic garbage can J.K. Rowling will be directly profiting from this project. The only reporting I could find on this directly is Ash Parrish, a reporter at Kotaku. Quote, when I asked if Rowling would receive any royalties, Warner Brothers declined to answer, referring me to a statement made in June that essentially said nothing. Which, you know, obviously J.K. Rowling is going to make money off this. She will directly profit from the success of this game. And the Discord had some thoughts. Just make the main character a trans character and put them in Slytherin just to fuck with Rowling. I'm also down for that. But the take I liked the most, kind of agreed with, was Sarah Zedig at HMS No Fun on Twitter. My Harry Potter hot take is that it sucks, and I guarantee you plenty of people who made the game agree. Like, you know, sometimes a job is just a job, you get paid for it, and then you do something else. That's what media production is for most people. And that's essentially where I'm at too. I'm like, everyone who worked on this game, just watching J.K. Rowling publicly undress herself and humiliate herself for years now, are probably really bummed that they're working on a Harry Potter game. And the conversation on Twitter quickly turned into, well, you know, if you don't buy it, you're not supporting the devs. We should write that off. That's bullshit. All these devs are salaried. They don't get royalties. They're going to get paid the same amount from this project if it sells 10 million copies or zero. So,
well, they'll get there's probably bonuses.
Sure, there might be bonuses, but again, what I'm saying is,
but they don't have stock in.
Yeah, they have no investment in the success. We don't even know if there's bonuses either, right? That's like a Gearbox type situation.
That's like a per studio. Like, some do it, some don't. Whatever.
And it's usually only leads too. Whereas I guarantee you, the hundreds of developers working on this game they don't care at all. So I don't buy that argument of like, well, you gotta support the devs. And yeah, I think there's so many AAA games coming out that aren't directly tied to profiteering transphobic artists that personally I don't think could in good conscience buy this game. And I know Heather has an opinion about this too. You were sharing with me.
Yeah, like she's a huge Harry Potter fan because I guess people around her age, like 30, like when Harry Potter first came out, it was like that was her age. You know, she was like the same age as Harry Potter, so she was a huge Harry Potter fan. And I told her about this like game a while ago and whatnot. And then when this came up, she was just like the name has like such a pit in our stomachs now to support. Like, she was just like, no, I don't want to play this. I don't want to support it. Blah blah blah. And I was just like, well, what if we can get it used? You know? Yeah,
that's another thing too.
So
you can totally buy these games used.
And she was just like, no, I don't. Like, I just don't want it. And I can see that because that's how I feel about Ubisoft lately, where it's just like, I just don't want anything to do with like that studio.
You feel yucky games. Even just playing it.
Yeah, exactly. And it sucks that like it is different those two situations, but because it is just like it's like I mean they've said too. I think J.K. Rowling hasn't really had that much like input in this game, but it's more of like the royalties and stuff, right? Like she will be profiting. She's already like insanely rich, more richer than anyone should really be.
She's a billionaire,
and she's a fucking terrible person. So. Yeah, I mean it'd be hilarious if you could pick like a trans person.
This will have, I think, some sort of character creator. So if there's any way to explore, different gender identities or expressions, and in a way that would, I don't know, because at that point it's like statistically there's at least a dozen or two maybe trans people involved in the entire creation of this game, from like development, production, marketing, release. Like there's trans authorship, I think, in a way, of this game. And so yeah, that it's a case by case thing for me. And in this case, and I think in our Discord people are kind of be like, yeah, I don't really feel good about giving J.K. Rowling indirectly any money, so I won't. And yeah, that's your onus as a player.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of in the same boat. So, I mean, the game looks cool, I guess. But you mentioned you wrote in here separating the author. Sometimes you can't like separate the author from the art. So,
especially when they're alive, directly profiting off it.
Yeah, exactly. So J.K. Rowling dies tomorrow. then
honestly, that I don't know. Actually, I didn't think about that. That might be like, oh, that's it. So like. I don't know. Ask her kids what they think about trans lives.
See what they say.
Oh man, it's also funny because like all of the, not funny, it's sad, but all of the Harry Potter movie actors like Daniel Radcliffe,
they're Emma Watson,
they haven't directly shit on J.K. Rowling, but when asked about trans issues, have always come out fully in support. Obviously, I think it's like a PR thing probably that they can't directly shit on J.K. Rowling, but their statements indirectly or like we completely disagree.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was the spice this week. PS5's coming out November 10th.
No, 12th.
12th? Oh, Series S X is 10th.
Which
I'm gonna get
Thursday,
one.
isn't it? Yeah, it's a Thursday.
Spicy. I ordered 3V games, so I expect it in like 1 to 4 weeks after.
Thank you. Yeah, I ordered Mario 3D All Stars on Amazon.
That was Amazon. That was
And I got an email like on Thursday because I was like, oh, maybe I'll just, if I want to play it this weekend, I'll just download it. And then I got an email saying like, oh, we're about to ship it. Like it'll arrive Tuesday. And I was like, you assholes. And then I got charged, and I was like,
nope, that's the worst. That'd be a pain in
the ass to cancel or whatever. So I just gotta wait. But yeah, I want to trade stuff in. The funny thing is, we might actually get a Series S before a PlayStation 5, because Series S, like, I will just, like, I have nothing to trade in towards it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your brother has your Xbox still, right?
Yeah, and I'll just, like, he could just have it. I guess I could theoretically trade my PS4 in for it, but I was going to just, I don't know. I was really just going to put my credit card online, TV Games or whatever, and get that stock money. So, by the way, yeah, full disclosure, I have EB Game stock. Good. It's good. It's doing well this week.
It's been a good week for game. Like the one thing you can still only get at like box stores, really, and I guess digital or online stores is the console.
Yeah, and you know what? This is why I bought stocks when they were so cheap, and people were shitting on me everywhere I said that I bought it. They're like, "Why would you do that?" I'm like, "Dude, like they will go up." When the console releases, and then I'll sell in January or February, like after the holiday rush, and then never look back. Because unless they survive until PS6 and Xbox, whatever.
Which I don't know they will. They're like games are already like 70-80% digital. Like this might be the last gen of like brick and mortar game stores.
Yeah, no, exactly. So like I wasn't going to like, I'm not going to stay in it. I was always going to cop out. But I didn't, and I also didn't put that much. Like I put a decent amount of money in, but not like a lot. Like under $1,000. So
yeah, that'll be a nice return, and yeah, we'll both be at least have a PS5 and new Xbox between us to talk about on the show. Yeah,
it's the opposite of what we thought would be.
As soon, like I'm waiting for they announced this week that the payment plan thing won't be coming to Canada on September 22nd when pre-orders go live. But they said it will be before launch, and I don't know if there'll be like stocks set aside specifically for that, because that would be great. Like if I could get like you have to buy the PS5 outright, which it did, and if I could do like the payment plan for the Series X and just keep getting Game Pass and paying it off over like 2 years and end up paying about the same I would spend anyway, just makes sense to me.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But we don't have the Canadian prices yet, so I need to wait and do the math on that.
PS5 didn't announce that either, and I thought that was a smart move on Xbox's part to offer that, because people might not be able to fucking afford like a $700 machine right now.
Yeah, no, Xbox is crushing it. Like just
they did way better for this.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter necessarily. The PlayStation currently has like the biggest market share mindset, and I think, like, dude, those streams, like each language stream for the PS5 thing had like 1 million viewers. Like what? Yeah. You got 1 million people to take an hour out of their day, more than 1 million, like 1 million per language, to watch you just talk about a console. Like that's something I don't think Xbox has.
Yeah, no, the hype around the PS5 is still like much bigger, because then I saw memes too about just trying to get the pre-orders and stuff. And
yeah, they bungled that. They said it would be going live the day after in the morning, but it actually went live like that evening. Like I got the EV Games email and I was like, wait, like right now?
Well, I think what happened is Walmart said, "No, fuck you. We're not waiting. You can pre-order this right now." So then all the other retailers were just like, "Oh shit!" So they scrambled. So some people are blaming Walmart, but I still blame Sony, because it's like if they get a shipment of Call of Duty before release date, they don't just say like, "Ah, fuck you, Activision. We're going to sell this now." Like Sony obviously didn't say, "Don't break this street date. Like you must allow pre-orders starting at 11 a.m. Eastern time or whatever." Like they obviously didn't do that, so it's still on Sony. They fucked up.
They did,
to the point where they even apologized for it. So
they did, but I'm kind of glad, because as soon as you give everyone a time, everyone's ready. Whereas like I just got the EV Games email and I was like, this was sent like 30 seconds ago. I bet I could grab one.
Yeah.
So it kind of worked out for me, but I don't think it worked out for a lot of people,
including me. So womp
womp. Let's close out the show with what we've been playing, Steve. We tried to stream Dead by Daylight crossplay with PS4 and PC, and like it doesn't work. And I was talking to my group of friends who I played with before, and they said that's a common thing when you're playing crossplay, unfortunately. Because if the Hunter drops, the game is just canceled, and it just automatically cuts to you escaped. But it happened to us like 5 games in a row.
Yeah, it was not a positive viewing. And now I got like 1% trophies just sitting there.
Feels bad, Steve.
That game also just has like 1,000 DLC things. It's kind of like it's definitely overkill. So I didn't have the most positive view of it, but I want to play more. But I also like the 4v1 thing. I don't like as much when you can't like attack and stuff. Like I like the Resident Evil Resistance more, because you were fighting and stuff. Whereas Dead by Daylight and Friday the 13th, you're just like running away. So I'm like, it's not really. Wasn't really my thing, but I'm determined to play more of it, just because you gave me like 2 trophies of it.
So that was an unfortunate experience, but I still like that was like the worst experience I've had with Dead by Daylight. Like the day after, I had the best experience of playing with 3 other friends on PC as the survivors and coordinating, talking, and the game forces you to learn how to call out way better, because there's no compass, there's no usernames above your teammates. You really have to like look at the character they're playing as, look at landmarks in the map, and like really communicate, which I liked a lot, which actually felt kind of like that like horror movie vibe. So yeah, that was our stream this week. I've been playing the Fall Guys remix update. Brilliant. I wish more games did this. They essentially like added slight variations to every, or what are they, maps or levels, I guess.
Yeah.
So like they'll flip which way like the ball chain things are going, or they'll add different propeller things. And they added Big Yeetus. Steve, have you seen Big Yeetus yet?
Yeah, I haven't been able to launch. Like I jump in front of it, but I kind of missed the timing, so I haven't been able to like get shot across the map or anything.
I landed a really good Big Yeetus on the teeter-totter level, or the seesaw level.
Oh, nice.
That like I was in like 8th. And like I saw a bunch of people ahead of me, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I like timed it, run, jump, and it launched me, like put me right ahead of them on the last teeter-totter, and then I jumped and got first. And I was like, that's what that's meant for. It felt really good.
What level are you?
30, halfway to 31.
Oh man, 39 to 40 is a grind.
Oh my god, I haven't got a win in like a week or two.
It's like 3,500 XP. Like
that's absurd. You get like max like 400 or 500.
Yeah, you get 400 when you win. Which so it's like it is a grind, dude. Like it took me forever to get from 38 to 39, and now I'm just like, oh my god, getting this gold trophy might not actually happen because
You got like 20 days left, less.
15 or so.
Because I bet they're gonna do at the Game Awards this year. Like season 2 is live now. Go go go.
Season 3 probably.
Or it'll be season 2. Oh right, because season 2 will start like October.
Yeah, season 2 is in like 2 weeks.
Huh.
According to the thing, so.
Allegedly.
Yeah, we'll see.
So yeah, we've both been playing Fall Guys. What do you think of the remix update?
I like it. Yeah, it's cool. It's just like it's fun because like the levels, we're starting to get a little stale. Like especially kind of the earlier ones that you see just way more often. But it's nice to just have a little bit of difference. Like they're still kind of the same structure, but you just get like a little bit newness. And so when you see it the first time, you're like, oh shit, I didn't know about this. Like I lost the ending one that's a race to the top. Of the crown.
Mountain, the crown mountain one.
Yeah, I lost one because there was extra like hammer that I didn't know about. So
at the end there.
Yeah, I got smoked by it, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was like there, or whatever, because it's going in the opposite direction. And I lost, and I was like, okay, but that's cool. Like, there's new shit, so it's good.
I also have been playing the internet phenomenon Blazeball. Been betting, maximizing. Shout out to the Mexico City Wild Wings. They won this season. Did a great job. They've reclaimed their honor because last season they were in the mild division, and so they complained that, and actually they sued the commissioner for defamation because they're the Wild Wings. Why would they be in the mild league? And the commissioner actually changed their name to Mexico City Mild Wings. And that lawsuit was caught up in court. But once they won, they were reclaimed as the Mexico City Wild Wings, and good for them.
This is all fake, right? Like, are there real
Steve,
people
Blazeball
behind these
is
teams?
very, very real, Steve. It is one of the best games I've ever played. It's been getting me through this year. Shout out to the Philly Pies, Pie or Die. They're my OG since season 1. It's for those of you who don't know, that didn't make any sense. Blazeball is this sort of online fake baseball league with a bunch of fake player names that are kind of jokes and fake team names. Every season of play is a week, so games are every hour for like 5 days, and then the playoffs are on the weekends. You pick a team, you bet, you buy peanuts, you crack the peanuts to help your team. You buy votes and choose a decree for the next season. So this last season, it was the 14th most idolized player will go to your team, I think, or come back or something. But that player had died because if there's a solar eclipse, then the umpire incinerates the batter. And so there was a dead player who was the most idolized player. So they actually came back from the dead to play. But coming back from the dead meant that they were unstable, and any pitchers that went up against them might also become unstable by playing against an undead player. It's a very, very complex sport, Steve.
Yeah, sounds like it.
That's Blazeball. It's just Blazeball.com. It's a lot of fun. I recommend people jump into it. I don't imagine it's a very accessible game at this point going into like season 7, because there's been like a month and a half of lore and world building, and all these characters have like unique backstories the community's made for them and stuff. It's kind of like, it's one of those ones that kind of had to be there from the start and follow it along, I think, to get the designed experience, but I still recommend people check it out. Steve, you played more Avengers, correct?
I had. I beat the like campaign, which was cool. I actually had a pretty cool like last mission. Like you basically take turns like playing as each Avenger, which I thought was neat. And I'm starting to just kind of do the end game stuff and playing with my buddy, and it's just like still a lot of fun. Like it's super buggy. They obviously launched it early because they had a big patch like this week where they fixed 1,000 things, and I was like,
oh my!
I was like, bro, you just released this game. There's no way you fix this shit like 1,000 different things in like 2 weeks. So they obviously just like had to release it. So I think if you're kind of on the fence it still has some issues, and I don't think, I think it'd still be justified to like wait a little bit, but I'm still having a lot of fun with it. Apparently the very end game stuff people are complaining about, because like the hardest missions have to be played solo to get like the best gear, and people are like, what the fuck. But I'm so far away from that, because after you beat the campaign you kind of get like individual missions. So like I beat not Spider-Man, I beat Hulk's last night and Thor's and stuff like that, so they have like kind of smaller little campaigns just towards them. And I think that's how they'll introduce the new heroes. Like they'll each have their own sort of smaller, like 3 or 4 missions. Certainly starting to see the repetitiveness, like the levels are starting to look the same and stuff like that, but it's still like, it's just a lot of fun. Like it's really chaotic, like just shit exploding everywhere, and it's just like cool. Like it does seem like there's a lot of like impact that's going. So I'm still having a lot of fun, and I am like bouncing between characters, which I didn't think I would do, because usually I just kind of like to focus on one character. But I am like kind of bouncing back and forth between people, like as I just like complete challenge missions and stuff like that, and just finishing their missions. They all play a little bit differently and stuff, and some are funner than others, and you know, the shittiest thing still continues to be just Nolan North being Iron Man. Like, it's just, it's just the most annoying thing. But yeah, I'm still having a lot of fun. It's just a buggy, glitchy mess, but you know, it's not as bad as Fallout 76 though. So I mean,
and you're a Fallout 76 super fan, so that has a lot of weight coming from you, because everyone likes to shit on Fallout 76, but you actually played it, so you know.
I played like almost 2. Like I'm pretty sure I played about 150 hours of Fallout 76, maybe more.
That's absurd.
And didn't really have that many major issues, but I did have a lot of issues. But yeah, Avengers, I like it. I think it'll really benefit from the jump to PS5, you know, with just and like a few months of like bug fixes and stuff like that. And I'm really interested to see how this game evolves in the next like 2 years, like how many heroes they kind of add and things like that. Like there's a decent amount of content in the game. A lot of it is repetitive, but it's got a really good foundation, I think, and they just got to like tinker with it and stuff. It was clearly like rushed to be out before like the big like before PS5 and all that stuff. Like I could have seen it, like if they pushed it to January, February, like I think they would have got some better, you know, goodwill out of players, but it's still like a good game.
And then you could have launched on PS5 and Xbox Series X and got that release window bump that games get when people are desperate for new content.
Yeah. Oh, we saw more Resident Evil 8 too in the PlayStation.
Oh yeah, it looks spooky. Chris is having a bad time.
Yeah, Chris seems to be a douchebag right now. So
yeah, so I don't know. It's like that Fast and Furious 8 thing where like he's the bad guy this time.
Oh, who's the bad guy in Fast and Furious 8?
Isn't it Vin Diesel? And everyone's like, dude, you were family, and then he's like the bad guy.
Oh, really? I don't know. I watched one back when it was out when I was in high school, and then like 6 or 7 in the theater, and I was so confused at how they how it transitioned to this kind of movie. I was like, this is just about Vin Diesel stealing like DVD players.
No, Steve, it's about family.
I guess.
That's it for what we've been playing, and episode number 160 of the KingGameDevs.com podcast. I want to thank you so much for listening. If you want to help us keep the site running, covering the Canadian Game Dev scene, you can support us at patreon.com/Canadian Game Devs. Backing us will get you early access to the show, a special channel on our Discord, game key giveaways, discount codes for Canadian gaming events. And if you back us higher than $1 a month, we will put your name at the credits of the podcast, both in audio and video form. So a huge shout out to Aaron McLeod, Canuck Play, who's David Winter, E. Beer, Elizabeth Avery, Hanel, Jean Leggett, loved your talk at Game Devs, at Game Dev Atlantic, Jeff Shepstone, Jeffrey Canham, Kai Hutchins, M5 Games, Nicholas A. Zorko, Nav from the Academy of Games, Pixelnuts_Alex, Sean Hayden, and Stacy H. If you listen on Apple Podcasts, please drop us a review. We'd really appreciate it. If you're not on Apple Podcasts, you can send any feedback about the show to contact@CanadianGameDevs.com. and share it with someone who you think might enjoy it. Thanks for joining me, Steve, on this blessed day of your daughter's baptism, taking the time out of your day.
No problem. Hey, I wanted your opinion on something.
Okay.
So I'm on the japancrate.com, which is not a sponsor, but Do I want the candy one for $35 or do I want the noodle one for $30?
I would go noodle because I'm not a big fan of gummy candy. I mainly just like chocolate or like chips and stuff. So I would totally go for noodles.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. But I wish I could get like some candy. You know what I mean? Like,
Like a mix and match box.
yeah, like it says 8 to 10 noodles. I wish I could be like 6 noodles and then like however much candy that would equate to. So,
I
anyways.
have 3 kids and no money. Why can't I have no kids and 3 money?
Exactly.
Yeah, I would go noodle because it is mostly like just chewy or sugar candy, whereas I kind of like chocolate. But
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Heather likes noodles too, so I think I'll do this.
there you go, win-win.
Gift to Heather.
Gift to Heather. Thank you so much for joining me this week, Steve. Where can people find you on the internet if they wish to do so?
Stephen L. Crane on Twitter and Instagram and stuff, where I just kind of tweet about. Actually, I'm not
How
tweeting
old
about
he
basketball.
is, how old he was when he played old games.
Oh my god, I hate you. Someone upped me though. Like they did the "This is where I grew up" and it's like all Atari games. So
Oh wow,
yeah,
yeah.
There's always someone older than you. There's always a bigger fish, you know.
It's true.
And but yeah, Canada Game Devs is where I want you to go. Don't worry about my personal shit. It's just my daughter and basketball thoughts.
And how old he is. You can find us on Twitter at Canada Game Devs, and you can find Steve and I's handle in the description on that profile. Also check out our site, CanadianGameDevs.com, and our Discord, which is now over 1,000 members, new since last show. So we are now officially a community in the eyes of Discord. We're working on getting emojis. We've got some new features, and yeah, come join us, talk about things, have the Discord discussion before we have it on the show. That's it. Episode 160 in the books. Thanks for listening. Have a great week.
Bye.
What's the quote today? What's the quote? Leave nothing for tomorrow, which can be done today.
Ooh.
Abraham
Lincoln.
All right, Abe, why did it take 50 years to end slavery, huh?
I don't know.
Could have done it today.
It's true. Maybe he's too busy. I don't know.
Getting shot? Idiot.
Well, I think he did that towards the end of his life.
Oh, man. If he'd taken his own advice, stayed at the office, he wouldn't have got shot.
Wasn't that like the Secret Service's first day on the job or something too?
Oh, I don't know, but that would be extremely funny if true.
I think that's like a little fact forward. Like, if not their first, like their first day, it was like it was like when it was established. Like,
That hurts. That's sad. What a tough first day.
I know, right? Your like only job is failed. I don't know. I don't see Abe Lincoln on here. Oh wait. The legislation creating the agency was on Abraham Lincoln's desk the night he was assassinated.
Oh,
So maybe
that hurts.
So I guess it wasn't there yet. You were just a day late there, old Abe.
He'd be like, "Oh man, everyone keeps trying to shoot me. I should do something about that."
Just like,
Hey, we're gonna be late, and he's like, "Ah, sign it tomorrow."
It's like I'll just gotta catch the movie. I gotta go see Tenet or whatever the movie is.
Tenet. All right. Let's go. 3. Oh fuck! What episode is this?
It's 160, isn't it?
Ooh, big. All right, 3, 2, 1.